Hello. Sorry. Hi everyone, Mrs. Red here. I went live before I changed the camera back over to myself. It is Thursday night again. This time last week it was the Good Friday Eve. So the week feels like it has gone very, very fast. Tonight we're going to be drawing human mouths. So if you are on the database, which is my website, you will have received this sheet of mouths. And this is what we're going to be drawing tonight. So we drew noses a couple of weeks ago. And tonight we're focusing on mouths. So we're going to be looking at about an hour of drawing and see how many we can get done. I'd like to say I'll get 3 mouths done, but I think realistically I'll either draw for an hour and a half or I'll get 2 of them done. So let's jump to the first one. It's actually already up on the screen that you can see. I will switch the camera over. There we go. That will change colour. Shouldn't look as blue. Anyway, the good news is I figured out how to use this webcam. So I've been able to zoom in finally, but it is still at my head height. What my plan was that I was just going to do this one as a warm-up sketch before I hit live. However, time just got away from me. I was going to do it in the 2B Faber-Castell. I still am going to, but depending on how this performs, because I haven't used one for ages, will depend on whether or not I have to introduce one of the other pencils. So the other pencils that I am using tonight, I'll just put them out. There's the Faber-Castell one. Always got a blending tool, an eraser and the kneadable eraser. And then I have a selection of my favourite Lumograph pencils. Whoops. Get them in view there. And then the other, I'm having a bit of a Staedtler night tonight, apart from the Faber-Castell. I'm going for the Staedtler Lumograph Black. Now, in the past, I have used the Faber-Castell graphite pit, and I would say they're fast becoming some of my favourite pencils. These ones have a little bit more of a shine to them, so I want to try them out and see how we go with it. Last week was that one. There was the Faber-Castell Pit Black. Such a black pencil. So it will be interesting to see how we go for them tonight. But I'm going to stick to my plan. I'm going to do the side view first. This one here, which I did as the example, I did it with, I haven't got them here to show you, but I did it with, actually, I've got the brand here. So it was the Faber-Castell Gold Faber. This is a student pencil, this one. I did that in a 2B. Was it a 2B or was it a 4B? It could have been a 4B. Used this and a woodless graphite, which I don't think I've got sitting in front of me. And not happy with it at all. Just couldn't get the blacks. So not happy with that one. I've really worked the paper hard as well. The paper I'm using tonight is the Bamboo book that I bought a few weeks ago. It is a 90, oh gosh, I can't remember now. There's a percentage of, I don't think I've got it lying around anymore either. 80% bamboo, 20% cotton or something like that. It's a lovely paper to draw with. It's a little bit lighter than usual. And I think it's 105 GSM. So I do have, you can see my hand coming through that. I do have just some printout sheets sitting behind it, because for that one, I don't know whether, no, it's not going to show. That actually dented this paper. So, because I was pressing quite hard with that one. Anyway, let's stop talking and get into it. So you have my drawing up there, pointing up there. There we go. That's the one that I'm drawing now. I've got my reference copy just in front of me here. So a good idea when you start drawing is to do a few little warm-up exercises, which I'm not going to do right now, but always a good idea, especially if you're new to drawing. And when you're drawing something like we are tonight, which is a close-up of something, it doesn't really matter where you start. Composition is not really a problem with this one. Always draw lightly when you're drawing so that you can rub out areas before you, so you know where that sense of scale is. And just trying to mark out sort of like areas at the moment. Now that lip's going to come right up here. Yeah, so composition isn't such an important thing. So with these shapes of these lips, they actually kind of join up there. Okay, so you just got to keep that in mind when you're drawing them. You could almost do a nice little light line. I don't know if you can see that. No. Just so I can get them coming out to the same bit. Feels wrong to bring it out that far, but I must go ahead. So yeah, what I mentioned before about the printout, if you join the Mrs. Red's Art Room website, the database, a little pop-up will come up straight away. You'll be sent whatever I'm drawing. You are first notified. So whoever's on my database is first notified on a Wednesday night at 7:30, and you actually receive the image that I'm drawing as well, so that if you do want to draw along with me, you can. You can either print it out or just enlarge it on an iPad, if that's what you're going to use as your reference. And of course, if you do join the live or you're watching afterwards, let me know in chat where you're from and if you are joining me doing this drawing. So far I'm liking this pencil. This is one of the more professional than student grades of drawing pencils. It's a 2B, but I don't have my tin handy with my other weights in it. So I'm pretty much going to stick to the 2B tonight on this one. So just getting the outline correct before we move on. There's that one there. It kind of looks funny, but it's the angle of this mouth. All right, she looks like she's got very big lips. They're not that big. There we go. If you do join and you've got a question at all, please ask away. I'll keep looking up at the chat bar. All right, so no, I'm going to do the just this part of the face as well, because obviously that is there. We don't want to ignore it. So just coming down, and it will be part of the shading as well. Keep looking at your reference. This is why one day I will work out how to have another camera so that you can see me as well, because I'm just constantly looking at my reference picture. You've got a really nice negative space area just here, so that you can work out that space there and see if it kind of works out the same. What do you reckon? I'd say that's okay. That will do. It's not going to look weird. I don't want to bring it up any further than that there. And I'll just get that little guideline out. The one thing I've found with this bamboo paper is that it doesn't like the eraser that much. Just want to correct this bit too. It just sort of like does fall away, but maybe not as harshly as mine has. All right, so I think that that's a good outline of what we've got there. And we can keep moving and start doing the shading. Start like in here, nice dark area. Oh, I know what I've forgotten to do. I've forgotten to set the timer. So I know that we've been going live for 11 minutes, but we do have to set the timer for, we'll say the hour. See how we go at the hour mark. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background. It's just all royalty-free music on YouTube, just to dull out the football sound that I'll hear in the background. If you've watched any of these videos before, you'll know that the TV is on the other side of the wall, and my husband will be watching the Thursday night football. I can't believe how quickly the week has gone, and that Good Friday was last week. It was a good job that I didn't actually do drawing night last week, because I do work at a dealership here on the Gold Coast, and it's on the opposite end of the Gold Coast to me, and the drive home last Thursday night was a little bit horrendous, and I actually didn't make it home until 7 o'clock. So I just wanted to have something to eat, sit down with a wine, and I had an early night because I swam down at the local creek with other swimmers on Good Friday at 6 a.m. So I knew I was in for an early morning, so I was tired after the day of work. So I was early to bed, as you do when you get a bit older. And then we got up and did about a 1.5 swim in the creek, Talabudra Creek, which is my local creek. Opens up to the mouth of the ocean. Depending on conditions, sometimes we swim from Talabudra Beach round into the creek. But the tide last week was pulling us out into the ocean, and not that that really bothers me. I'm okay with that. I've swum for a long time. I'm confident, strong swimmer. I'm all right with it, but there's others that we were swimming with that are not, and we're not going to put them at risk. So we didn't go near the mouth on Good Friday, just stuck to the actual creek and under the bridge onto the other side of the creek. I feel like I'm getting detailed on this lip very quickly, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means that I'm drawing a bit faster. Just putting those little highlights of the creases in of the lip. Yeah, so that was about a 1.5 kilometre swim that we did on Friday, which was nice. That's probably the average distance that we'll do. You wouldn't do under a kilometre. It wouldn't be worthwhile the early morning just to do under a kilometre. Normally do somewhere between 2 and 3 on a normal day. Good way to start the day. Wish I could start every Friday morning like that. When you're doing these little spot studies of something such as these mouths, it doesn't matter where you start and where you move around to. Just go where you're comfortable. It is a study, and that is the reason why there's multiple mouths to be drawing, different angles, different areas that need shading. I bit my tongue about, I'd say it's about 4 days ago now, right at the back of my tongue, and I keep biting it. I reckon for 3 to 4 days I have kept biting it, and it just will not allow the poor thing to heal. And I'll be talking, and because it's at the back of my tongue, it actually stops you talking. Not putting a lot of pressure on this pencil at all, but I am liking the way that I'm getting some really nice darks with it, as well as the highlights. Can always use my kneadable eraser, but feel very sketchy with it. I do recall being a bit of a fan of these Faber-Castell. The Castell 9000, as opposed to the Faber, what was it? The Gold Faber. Gold Faber is a student brand pencil, which is what I used for this one. And yeah, just you start to remember the difference in quality. It's been a long time since I've been using a lot of different pencils. But this one, this particular one is not part of the set, but I have a set of these Castell 9000s that have got my maiden name written on them, which means two things. One, they're over 20 years old. But secondly, it shows they were what I used to use when I was at uni doing graphic design. And you had to name everything because you didn't want another student to walk away with your art supplies. So every pencil had your name on it, and the tin had your name on it, all in black art liner permanent marker. Had to name everything. And I still have my art box from those days. It's an old fishing tackle box. And yeah, everything's got my maiden name on it. So I know the age of everything. Early 90s is when I was at uni. But this particular pencil is not part of that set. They're so old that the little writing has actually come off them. So I don't actually know which one is the 2B and which one is the 8B. And they're all a little bit small as well. A bit more of a memory tin than one that I use anymore. I'm not sure how I came across this one. It's just a random find. Now what I might do is use the needle razor for the highlights that are on the bottom lip here. So I'll just go over all of that because I know I can dot back. I'm actually completing this a lot faster than I thought I would. I don't want to get a name for being a fast drawer. I'm sure I possibly nobody could be slower than me at anything really. I'm just a slow person when it comes to doing anything. Slow cook, slow gardener, slow at everything, slow and steady. Don't like to rush. That's why I don't cook stir fries. I'm just shading this in all one tone and then I'll build on it very lightly. It's going to be different going to another pencil after this one and just having to deal with the pressure that you put on the pencil. Don't know which one I'll go for next. I know which smiles I'm doing next. I'll put them up when I get onto it. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear my music in the background. It's pretty low. I tested one of the other videos. I played it back to see if you could hear, and you couldn't hear it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Now I'm just going to increase the shading along here. When you're drawing anything from a reference photo, make sure that you continuously look at that reference photo and don't draw, like I am not drawing a pair of lips here. I am drawing what is in front of me. The end result will be a pair of lips, but you have to look at it just as a pure object. That way you will get your shading right, your proportions right, and what should result is the actual object that you're drawing. I'm going to go under here now and just do this bit of the bottom of the lip and the start of the chin. And yeah, I won't have to do too much more on this one. A few highlights in those lips possibly will use the the blending tool. Not too sure yet. That lip is really, really the same color as the skin along here in the photo. So I will make it the skin just slightly darker, just so that you know where the lip is, given that it is a grayscale image. Make sure if you're watching this video as inspiration and you're going to do your own mouths, whether you've got my printout of mouths or you're just collecting some reference photos of your own, make sure that you let me know how you go. Send me a quick photo. My details are all in the description. There's the email address and the website. I do have a chat on the website, and it is something that comes to me, but I don't know whether or not you can put an image in it or not. So tag me in your socials, because I want to see your drawing. And if you want me to comment on it and give you some tips, please do. And if you're watching this one for the first of the ones that I've been doing for the past, it must be almost 3 months now. The reason I'm doing this is because my business, I'm doing so much teaching, showing others how to do artworks and kids projects as well. And I just found that I really haven't done anything for myself for, I'm going to say, close to 20 years. It's true. And back in the uni days, we were drawing every day, every week. Drawing, painting, being creative. And I just really wanted to get back into that. So I really look forward to this Thursday night drawing session. But would really, really love for other people to be joining me as well, asking some questions, chatting to me, drawing along. I really need to get a new chair too. My old chair that I had gave up. It's one of those ergonomical ones where you kneel and the weight goes on your knees. It keeps your back really straight. And I tend to lean forward in this chair, and my lower back, which I've got a lot of troubles with at the moment, really starts to feel the weight of me sitting. I'm going there. How's that looking? It's looking quite gritty. There we go. Looked like it just lost it because I didn't have my hand there. It looked, because I've now found out how to use the webcam properly. Before tonight, there was no focus changing at all. It was quite annoying. Oh, look at me. I've just gone and put in a dark spot there, which actually isn't there. So that will teach me a lesson not to lose focus and take my eye off the drawing that's in front of me. Okay, I know I did want to have that bit of lip being the same tone. And just smooth that out. There we go. Now I'm thinking, I'm just going to put my hand back. I wonder if I just put the eraser there, whether that will help. I'm thinking whether or not I start to think about moving on or using this paper tool, paper stump. I'm just thinking of the highlights that I want to add, using this very, very lightly, just smoothing out the graphite. The dirtier they get, the lighter you have to apply pressure. There's a lot of graphite on this one. You can see the difference in that lip now. Kind of looks like I have meant to put this dark line in, and I haven't. So I need to just try and make that look like it's all meant to be. All these images are from Unsplash, which is the royalty-free website that I use if I'm just wanting reference photos for these YouTube lives. And I have listed the photographers' names on the template, the printout that I've provided, which you can get if you subscribe to the website. Now, this lip, so this lip here is darker than this here, so I'm going to have to just increase the tone of this top lip. It's actually quite a bit darker than the bottom lip. Oh gosh, I just got hit in the arm by a bug. Okay, so I'm just going to darken this area, and I might actually use the paper tool, the paper stump, to do this as well, given that it is going to help darken everything. If you can make your images grayscale, it really helps in this learning process of sketching, just so that you've only got your black to white tonal values to look at. You don't have to worry about the colours that are involved, skin tones, anything else that you might see. It looks really rough and gritty, and I don't know why. I think I might have set the camera a bit harsh. Now I'm wondering, I'm just going to give it a go up here and use the paper stump, paper blending tool it should be called. Make that darker. Of course, I said I was going to do this one quite quickly, but of course it's not. It's a good example of being able to do a drawing in one pencil, not using different weights. And I guess with these sketches, because they are just sketches as such, there isn't a lot of need to use more than one weight of pencil. Now I'll just very, very lightly fill this in. I don't want it to have too much. I want it to have a bit of an angle coming down. I don't want to look like I'm giving her a hairy lip. This is a female lips that I'm doing. The one thing I made sure was that I didn't I didn't use any images that was lipstick, because that hides the colour where the lip meets the skin. By all means, if that's what you're drawing, but we're focusing on getting the human mouth, the proportions, the angles. Forgot to put my candle on. Normally we'll have a candle burning, so I just have nice perfume happening. All right. I'm wondering if I will leave it. I'm not too happy with the grittiness, but I will play with the camera settings and improve that for next week. Looks very gritty. Come on, focus. Okay, need to... Gosh, there's still so much to do on this. How am I going for time? Oh, goodness. Okay, maybe I'll just do 2 tonight, not 3, as I wanted to. I'm not going to rush anything, and I'm not going to stay here all night either. I'll do... I'll probably do the one with the teeth smiling next. How's that looking? That's looking a little bit better. Really got to try and be able to get those white bits in by removing them with the kneadable eraser. There we go. Right. Let's put a little bit of kneadable eraser. It's probably not going to work as well as I want it to. I need to find myself another mechanical eraser. I do have one. I have no idea where it is. Actually, I suspect I know where it is. And the mechanical eraser, they are fantastic. They have a little running wheel, makes the eraser go round in a circle really, really quickly. And you can touch the surface and lift off graphite really easily. But until then, we've got the trusty kneadable eraser. Don't know if you can really pick up that happening there. Okay, I'm thinking I might leave that at that and move on to my next mouth. Okay, so for the next mouth, I'm going to use the Mars Lumograph. So this was the Mars Lumograph Black, very, very black. But I'm going to stick to this one. This is a 3B. I might actually use a 3B. I'll just change the image over. And we'll go to this one here. was trying to make it. Okay. All right. So this is the one that we're doing now. I'll just keep that off to the side. I'm just going to angle my book a little bit there. Have a quick sip of the old vino. Can't go without that on a Thursday night. All right, so I'm just looking at where I'm going to draw this one, whether I stick it here, because I'd really like to, even though I can't blow it up right now, I've still got quite a bit of room down here. Let me just go back to the chat. There we go. I've got it on the stream, the public stream. Please don't use the private because I haven't got it on that and I won't see the message. Okay. Get myself comfortable here. Now, where do I start? I'm going to start with this top lip here so that I can then try and get the shape here. And this is a good exercise in how to draw teeth in, because there is a bit of a secret when it comes to drawing the teeth in on any drawing. Always looking at your reference. My reference photo is actually moving around because of the fan. So let me just get that to stop. That's better. Okay, so I'm drawing the bottom bit of the top lip in first. That will give me my base for the rest of the drawing. You want to try and draw this very loosely. This guy hasn't got much of a top lip. Can you see that? Oh, it's very faint. I know it's very faint. Hang on, I'll put my eraser there just so you get that focus. It has to be faint. Wow, looks like a very big mouth. Looks way too big. If I compare my actual drawing to that, yep, it's okay. I need to bring that in. Just need to shorten it a bit. Not rubbing out the entire thing, just the sides. I feel like I'm coming straight back to where I just rubbed out. There we go. Now the gap between, I'm going to say it's about there. Remember, this is now, we're back to really, really light sketching and just trying to map out where everything is proportion-wise. So we've got a lot of room to be able to erase and get it right. Keep looking at your drawing, at your reference your reference picture. You're not drawing a mouth. You're drawing a whole heap of shapes, lines, shadows, textures. So that quite funny looks like a set of lips, but it's not. This is the open area. And I quite like what I've done there. So now I'm going to come down to here and do the bottom half of the lip. And then once we've got that in, we know where we're good to start putting in the detail. Just wanting to look at the distance between the top and the bottom part of this bottom lip. Make sure you get those shapes, the negative space. He's got a bit of a line between the lip and where his beard grows. It might look quite funny when it's being drawn, but it's got to happen. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. I'm definitely much more happy with the size of that. I might add in his nose, sort of about up here. And there we go. We'll keep that in there. Okay, so with teeth, drawing teeth, you never want to draw the shape outline of the teeth. So I'll just get the example out here. So you don't want to draw in a line down here and a line down there. What you want to do is fill in all these dark areas here, a little bit in there, all those bits in there, and then up here won't be as dark, but the tiny little bits of gum that you can see, that's what you want to fill in. Then when it comes to actually doing the teeth, there will be a very, very faint line that goes down that one, but over here it's shading that's going to happen, that's going to create that light to dark area. Same with here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to focus on now. Doing in that dark area, so we know we've got a little, my reference photo is moving around again. I might just see if I can sit it right there so it's nice and close. Could almost start with this one up here. Oh, this pencil feels different to the one that I just had. Now I'm going to go in here and do that little cap there. That's all there is. And then the next gap will be about here. He's got a little chip in his tooth there. You can almost already start to see the teeth taking shape just by what I'm doing here. I'm using the 3B pencil, just in case you're wondering. Now this one here, that is very much shading. It goes into that corner. Okay, where's the kneadable? Just want to take a bit of that pencil off that there. Now this side. Now I don't want to be 20 minutes left. I don't want to be frightened by the alarm going off. Bit of a chip in that little tooth there as well. Okay, so that is how we start drawing teeth. By doing all the negative spaces. Alright, so now we'll go for the gum area. You want to match that up to make sure that it's going to match up with the bottom areas. And the gum area will be lighter than the lip. So don't go too hard on that area. Not so much gum to worry about here. And that one there is going to be shading. Okay, so you can see that mouth is all, the teeth is all starting to come together now. Now all these bits here is, apart from this one here, I can do a very faint, I don't know whether you can, yeah, you can see that. Very faint there, but for the rest of them, we'll actually be shading them in. I may as well just do that. I wonder if I should, I might move to a, what have I got? I've got a B. So that's a 3B I've been using, but I'm going to go to a B to do the, actually should have got out something a bit lighter, but they're not easy for me to access. Or maybe I should go for the gold Faber that I couldn't get my darks with. But I do want to stick to the one pencil brand. So I'm working incredibly lightly with this, and I still might use the kneadable eraser just to take some of that pencil out of there as well. He has got very white teeth. Yeah, which I don't want it to be too pointy. That's better. I know that looks like I've done nothing, but I have. And again, just lightly going over it. I'm not really going to do too much to that tooth there. Okay, this one here, there is some really, really light shadows happening in all these teeth. And I will then dab at that again. Just lightly take that graphite back off. So light. But this is the lightest part of this whole drawing as well. Or this study, I should say. It's not really a drawing as such. It's a sketch, a study. When I get to doing the full face, I reckon that will be over 2 or 3 nights, possibly more. We'll put together a whole face. But if you're interested in doing a little bit more portrait drawing, this is the way to go, just to get familiar with all the smaller parts of the drawing before you branch out into a full drawing of the face. You just don't want to be overwhelmed by it. Break it down and do a few different mouths, nose, ears, eyes, chins. Hair is going to be a funny one. I don't know what I'm going to do for hair. To be honest, I haven't done a lot of hair before. I've done a lot of faces, but it's not been a great deal of hair. So we'll tackle that one night as well. Whoops, I turned the pencil around then and I got a real sharp edge. Just wanting to shade in that bit there. There's some pretty clean highlights that are happening on these teeth, but they're not going to be happening for me. You'd only achieve them with the mechanical eraser, or if you were drawing on a really large scale. Or if you weren't drawing on white paper, you're using a tinted paper, you could actually use a white Conti or a white charcoal pencil to throw in some highlights. All right, just put in that last tooth. Literally just letting this pencil just touch the paper. There's no weight on it at all. Now that tooth there is just sitting on the lip a bit there. So that's why it looks a little bit unfinished at the moment. I'm going to go back to the 3B again now. Maybe go for this lip here. So this is darker than the teeth, thank goodness. Don't know if you can hear the cat drinking. She's just below me. Remember, you're not drawing a mouth. You're drawing what's in front of you. The result will be a mouth, should be. If you're drawing what's in front of you and taking the time, making sure that your proportions, your highlights. Okay, that's looking all right. Fortunately, he doesn't have any highlights in his lips at all. It's just in the teeth. His pencils are so beautiful. You don't need to put too much pressure to get some darkness out of them. Okay, I want to use the paper blender again. There's quite a bit of tooth to this paper. So I must go back to cartridge paper again soon. Although I don't want to do it until I've finished the studies of the human face. That wouldn't be right. Okay. How's that looking? Good, good, good. All right, let's go down to this lip. Again, it is darker, obviously, than the teeth. Sorry to be over the top, it won't be for long. because I'm filming this, I can't turn the notebook around as much as I would like to. So I have to do a little bit of body adjustment. Just lightly colour in the lip before you keep adding darks. Again, adding no pressure at all to the pencil, just letting it do the work. Okay. Can't really tell where the lip finishes and the gaps in his teeth start, which is nice. Now, what's the time? Oh, 5 minutes to go, and then it will be an hour. A little bit longer than an hour, but since I started the timer, that's good. I'll finish this one and call it a night. Be happy with that. This one will take me a little bit more than 5 minutes to complete, though, of course. Use the blending tool again soon. It's got so many different names: paper stump, blending tool, paper tool, blending stump. Still, I'm just having a look at the image on the screen, and it still looks very gritty. That's just the exposure that I've set it. Well, actually, it's not me. It's on auto, but it looks really gritty. It's not that gritty, I promise. You'll see in the photos that I take, that I put on social media. Okay, let's use a little bit of blending tool. Something outside is very squeaky and loud. Don't know what it is. Set the dogs off. Hopefully it's not someone up to no good. If it is, I think you just got busted for trying to take something. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I know it doesn't look it on the screen. It looks a little bit harsh and scratchy. Okay, so I'll put in the highlights under this nose here, and then it's pretty much putting a layer, just a layer of graphite down, and then picking one of my darker pencils and putting in all that moustache hair, facial hair. It's kind of funny seeing just that bit of nose there. Could be anyone's mouth at the moment, couldn't it? Now we want to do a bit of an outline. Oop. Don't quite know why I want to do an outline. It's really where the hair stops, so I might go back to the bee because the skin is lighter than the lips. And it will be build-up of facial hair that will give it a little bit more definition. But that, I've either got to make that lip darker Yeah, so I just had a look at the screen. It's so light that I know you can't really see what I'm shading. Bear with me. I have to put this down. There's a bit of a line there, but that's okay. That will disappear when I put the moustache in. Actually, I might even use the paper to the blending stump to just even out this scratchiness. Just want to get a bit of a crisscross happening so that it's not all pencil lines going one way. I will use the blending tool after this. Just don't want to have those lines all going the same way. Oh, you can kind of see that outline. It's very faint. It is very light. Okay. Giving him a dirty face. So I won't be using the black, the Lumograph black tonight, because I'm not going to start another mouth. I'll be here for another hour if I did that. But I would like to do another one at another time. Okay, that's pretty much enough. So I'll go for the darkest one I've got, which looks like it's going to be a 6B. Yep. Have a quick swig. Now with this hairline, there's no real yes or no to it. Just remember that there's that little gap there, and also around the actual lip line there's a fairly defined area. And it starts under the nose there. Just want to mark out some I'll put a lot more in, of course. I'm just sort of sketching out my hairline here. This reminds me of a assignment I had in first year of doing graphic design, and we had to do an illustration of a Australia-made product, and I photographed my brother's feet in a pair of thongs or flip-flops, depending where you're from. And he has got hairy feet. And I went and bought a pair of thongs that he would never wear, just probably at the time, they would have been about $2 from Kmart. Just a rubber pair. And I photographed him wearing these thongs and accentuated his big toe, or big toes, I should say, and had these really hairy feet, and in the background was an old pub, and it looked like a farmer who'd gone down to have beers after his day on the farm in his thongs, and he had all these hairy feet, hair on the big toe, on every toe it would have been. And it looked really good. I must pull that out because I do have that. My dad gave it to me. He kept it for some years. Just with this pencil, I keep turning it because it is a 6B, so it's a very soft graphite. And if I don't keep turning it, I'm going to get a blunt. I'm going to get a big, thick hair rather than sharp, spiky little hair. Artistic license when doing facial hair like this. There's no right or wrong way to do it. And I can come back and build up to that. Oh gosh, that looks harsh. I might see if I can play with the camera at the end. I haven't got too much graphite picked up on my hand. To be honest, I could give him very little facial hair and you would never know. But there's not too much. At least it's not really wiry, thick and long. That I don't think I would have done it if it was that. I kind of liked the fact that I was doing one drawing with facial hair. Make sure you get the direction of those little hairs going the way that they are. They're curling as they come around the mouth. And heaps under here. Oh gosh, I've got a moth that's come in, banging around. I have requested that I have a screen door put on my office door, which leads outside. It doesn't have a screen on it because we don't really need a screen on it. But now that I'm doing a lot of night drawing, all the moths are very attracted. I'm just going to sharpen this because I can see that it's getting very, very blunt. Looks so harsh. It's not this harsh, I promise. Oh, just had a moth fly straight over my page. Glad he didn't stop to say hello. And I do want to shorten my little strokes around here because he is quite short in the beard, just under the mouth there. Oh, thank you, little moth. Just came and kissed my chin. Okay, that's looking all right. Just wipe my eye. Okay. Coming to an end. Oh no. Oh, I've had a big bug come in. I don't know where he's gone. I hope he doesn't come back because he looked a bit buzzy bee-like. And given that I'm anaphylactic to bees, goodness. Oh dear. Oh God. I'm sorry, I've got to get. Oh gosh, hang on. I'm just going to open this door and hope this thing flies out. Very sorry. I need him to fly out. Look at a piece of paper. He's not. Oh, he's on his back now. Oh no, he's not. He doesn't look like he's going to harm me. I'm going to. Yeah, I'll just leave the door open. Sorry about the chair. Oh God. Now I'm getting hit by another bug in the ear. Oh, okay. I think that's my sign to finish up. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to finish up. Oh, I so desperately want to just finish this. Oh my goodness. Talk about wildlife ruining your night. Oh, God. Go on, go back outside. I've opened the door. Even the cat ran outside. If I scream, it's because it's hit me. He's stopped. I don't know where he's gone. He's probably on the ground. Ooh. Now he's flying again. Fly out. Fly out. You're only going to die if you stay in here. One of those nocturnal bugs that wouldn't be seen flying around in the day. It'd be taken by a kookaburra. Oh gosh, now another one's coming in. All right. That looks shocking on screen. It is not that dark. Let's see if I can play with the camera now. I'm going to remove this off here. Oh no, I don't want to delete it. Cancel it. Just actually no, I'll go back to him. Let's bring it right in. Now I'll go out a little bit on zoom. Focus is on auto, the exposure is on auto. So if I take that off auto, just testing live here. Okay, I'm not going to keep going with this because this bug is annoying me. Wow, it's like wildlife in here. I'm going to swap to the FaceTime so you can see me. You can see them flying around in front of me. Okay, I need to get my husband to put that screen in really quickly. I have got moths hitting my lights. I've got the big one flying around. We're done. You will see the photos of these on my social. They will be much better photos than how the camera has perceived them tonight. So do have a look at the Mrs. Red's Facebook and Instagram pages. And I will photograph them and put them on there. And until there's no kids YouTube tomorrow afternoon, all right? Because I'm getting behind with the projects. I'm not getting them uploaded and putting them on the website, which was the whole intention of the Kids Art projects, to do the project on YouTube, follow it up with a project plan on the website. So I've got 2 to do, and one of them is an Easter one. So anyway, it will be there ready for next Easter. So with that said, thank you for watching through. If you have got this far, let me know how your drawings are going, and remember to draw what is in front of you, not what you think is there, because that is the key to getting a drawing correct. Until next week, we'll be doing maybe eyes. I think we might do eyes next week. Eyes are great. I haven't drawn many eyes from a reference image. I've drawn a lot of eyes just from drawing eyes. So it'll be interesting to actually have a reference image to use. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I'm going to go and try and get these bugs to go back outside. Enjoy your night.